I want to tell you something that I still have trouble saying out loud, and I need you to stay with me through the part where I sound naive. My name is Tatum, and I study design, which means I spend a lot of time thinking about how things look and what they're trying to make you feel. I have a good eye. That's not me bragging, it's relevant. I'm telling you because I need you to understand that when I say I didn't see this coming, it's not because I wasn't paying attention. I was paying attention. I just didn't know what I was looking at. His name was Finn. We met in a photography Discord server, and for 6 weeks I thought I was falling for someone real. I wasn't. But I should start at the beginning. The server was called Grain and Ghost. It was for people who shoot on film, actual film, the kind you have to develop, the kind where you don't know what you got until a week later. I'd been in there for a few months. Mostly I just posted occasionally and read other people's threads. Finn had been a member longer than me. He was the kind of person who left thoughtful comments. Not showy, just considered. He DM'd me after I posted a photo I shot on a disposable camera at a show I went to alone. He said it had real instinct in it. I remember reading that twice. We talked every day after that. At first it was just photography, then it was everything else. He'd message me while I was at the print shop, and I'd reply on my break. He told me about a camping trip that went wrong. I told him about the friend group that fell apart junior year, which I don't usually tell people. He remembered details, he asked follow-up questions. He never pushed for anything. Looking back, that consistency was the whole strategy. But at the time it just felt like someone who was actually interested. By week 4 I was rearranging my evenings around when he was usually online. I knew that. I didn't stop. It was a Tuesday night. I was at my desk working on a project and he messaged me. First line stopped me cold. Something happened, he said. His Leica had been stolen. Out of his car after a shoot. He'd mentioned the camera before, said he'd saved for it since he was 17, that it was the first piece of gear he actually chose for himself. He had a client job on Friday and he needed to cover the gap on a replacement. $380. He'd pay me back the moment the client invoice cleared. He already had the replacement picked out. I read it twice. Here's the thing, the amount was specific, the timeline was specific, the reason was specific, all of that should have been reassuring. Like he wasn't just asking, he had a whole situation with details, but something about it went the other direction for me. The specificity bothered me instead of helping. I know how that sounds, like I was being paranoid, and maybe I would have talked myself out of it, but I took a screenshot and texted it to Priya instead. I have to tell you about Priya. Priya and I have been friends since sophomore year. She's the only person from my old friend group who didn't disappear when everything fell apart. She works harder than anyone I know. She has opinions about everything. And she listens to true crime podcasts the way other people listen to music constantly, in the background, while she's doing other things. I used to make fun of her for it. I texted her the screenshot and said something like, "Does this seem weird, or am I being paranoid?" She called me back in about 4 minutes. She said it seemed weird. I told her I didn't want to make it weird, that he'd never asked me for anything before, that it was probably a real situation. She let me finish. Then she said, "I'm coming over." She showed up 40 minutes later with her laptop and a bag of chips she did not offer to share. She sat on my couch, and I sat at my desk, and she said, "Okay, show me his profile." I pulled up Finn's Discord. She looked at his profile photo for a second, and then she said, "Can I use your phone?" She opened Google. She searched the image. His profile photo. The main one he used, the one I had looked at probably 100 times. I want to be honest with you, I was hoping nothing would come up. I was sitting there watching her do it, actually hoping for nothing. Something came up. It was a Reddit account, different name, different city, same face, same exact face. Priya turned my phone around and showed me, and neither of us said anything for a second. Then she said, "Okay, so..." We started reading through the Reddit account together. She had my phone and I was leaning over from my desk and we were just scrolling. The account was old, mostly inactive, but there were posts in photography communities. Looking back, that detail is the one that still gets me the most. He didn't just pick any space online. He picked spaces full of people who were genuinely passionate about something, people who were there because they cared. That was the pool he fished in. In one thread, someone had called the account out directly. The post said something like, "This person messaged me claiming to be a photographer in Denver and asked me for money for equipment." Priya read it out loud, not performing, just reading. Then she scrolled to the replies. One of them was from a username that was clearly a throwaway. It said, "Something happened to me too. If anyone wants to compare notes, here's an email." Priya looked at me. I said, "Do it." She opened her email on her laptop right there and wrote maybe 6 sentences. She said her friend had been contacted by someone using the same photos, that we were trying to figure out what we were dealing with, and that we'd appreciate anything the other person could share. Short, direct. She sent it. Then we waited. I refreshed my Discord twice out of habit, and then felt stupid about it. Have you ever done something like that, kept checking on the thing you were in the middle of proving wasn't real? That's where I was. Priya ate chips and did not offer me any, and read me a statistic about online romance fraud that she found in about 30 seconds. I told her to stop. She read me another one. The reply came in less than an hour. Her name was Deanna. She was 25, she lived in Atlanta, and she had figured out what happened to her about 3 weeks earlier. She had kept everything. Every screenshot, every message, every transaction request. She said she had been waiting for someone to find the thread. She sent us the screenshots. I need you to understand what it feels like to read a conversation between someone else and a person you thought you knew. The patterns were the same. He built it the same way with her. Same pace, same tone, same kind of questions. There was a line he'd used on Deanna in week 2 that he'd used on me almost word for word. Something about how he liked that she didn't perform online, that she seemed like the real thing. He said that to me in week 3. Priya read it over my shoulder and didn't say anything for a minute. The last screenshot was the one that settled it. It was a Venmo transaction request. The account name said Brody, not Finn. Brody. The amount on Deanna's request was $360. Ours was $380. Priya closed the screenshots. She picked up her laptop without saying anything and started typing. I asked her what she was doing. She said she was finding him. I said finding him how? She said give her 10 minutes. It took her 8. She found Brody Kemper's real Facebook. 20 years old, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Profile photo of a guy at a barbecue who looked completely ordinary. She turned the laptop around and showed me, and I just stared at it. Then she kept going. She found his mother's profile from there. She showed me that too. She didn't say anything, she just looked at me. I said don't do anything yet. She said okay. She put the laptop on the couch next to her and waited. That was a Thursday. On Friday night I called him. Priya was on my couch. Deanna's screenshots were open on her laptop. Brody's mother's Facebook was open in another tab. I had Discord up on my computer. I called Finn on voice. He answered. He sounded like he always sounded. Warm. Little tired. He asked if everything was okay. I said yeah, mostly. I said I wanted to add my friend to the server because she was getting into film photography. I said remind me what it was called again. He paused. It was short, maybe 2 seconds, but I heard it. He said grain something, grain and... He trailed off. I watched Priya look up from her laptop. I said grain and ghost. He said yeah, that one. I said you've been in that server for over a year and you didn't remember the name. He started explaining. Connection issue. He was distracted. He'd just been stressed about the camera situation. I let him go for about 15 seconds. Then I said his name. Not Finn. I said Brody. He stopped talking. I said I know about the Reddit account. I know about the Denver username. I know about Deanna in Atlanta, and I know about the $360, and I know the Venmo account has your real first name on it. I said all of that in one go. I had practiced it. He was quiet for a long time. Then he said, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, okay. I said, your mom might have some thoughts about that. I said, Priya already has the message open. He said, what? Priya hit send. I ended the call. 2 days later, his mother replied. She said she was sorry. She said she didn't know and that she would be addressing it. 12 words. I read it 4 times. That night, I wrote a post in Grain and Ghost. I kept it simple. I named the profile, described the Leica story, wrote out the dollar amount. I said if anyone else had heard from someone calling himself Finn Calloway, I needed to know. 3 people replied before I went to sleep. I'm still in the server. I never left. The people in there are real, most of them anyway, and I wasn't going to let him take that from me too. I posted a photo last week, shot it on the same disposable camera. Different show, same instinct. If you want to hear more stories like this, please like and subscribe.